This episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. Healthcare professionals can lead their careers with LinkedIn. Discover jobs by specialty, preferred shifts, and even desired salary. From mental health therapists to radiology technicians, it's now faster and easier for healthcare professionals to find the right fit. Learn more at linkedin.com/healthcare. Side effects may include faster job placement, improved work-life balance, and increased career satisfaction.
Every who down in Who Newville liked the holidays a ton, but where to get great prices on gifts, they had no idea. None. They searched and they searched for great gifts under $25. Gifts for spouses and friends and even their toddlers. When suddenly one who shouted, Walmart has what you want, knowing they have Lego, Tree Hut, and low prices to flaunt. So they enjoy the holiday season as Who's often do. Cheering and shouting, Walmart has incredible gifts. Who knew? Find gifts they'll love under $25 at Walmart.
Black Friday at Abercrombie Kids is here with 40% off everything, and Spotify listeners are getting an extra 15% off with code SpotifyAF. This is your time to shine and finish holiday shopping on sale. Shop in the app, online, and in stores. 40% off everything, valid in stores and online November 24th, 2025 to December 1st, 2025 in US and Canada. Excludes clearance and gift cards. Online price reflects discount. Use code SpotifyAF to get an additional 15% off everything in stores and online at checkout from November 24th, 2025 to December 1st, 2025 in US and Canada. Excludes clearance and gift cards. See details online.
I'm Jessica Valant. I'm a physical therapist, women's health expert, and Pilates teacher, and my goal is to help all women feel strong, safe, and secure in their bodies. In this podcast, I'll share expert advice, facts, amazing guests, stories, compassion, and hope to help you meet your body in all seasons of life. Hey, welcome back to another short episode where we are just chatting to connect. This is our connections episode. And we're talking today about being an introvert versus being an extrovert, and then all of the places that you can land in the middle of all of that. So for me, I grew up being told by everyone that I am an extrovert. And this is from when I was a little kid, because I remember specifically, I was the oldest daughter, firstborn, only daughter, loved music, loved performing. I was the one who at 3 years old would stand on the chair in the middle of the living room and demand attention as I sang songs out loud. I just did not have that self-conscious feeling whatsoever until it developed, as it does for us girls, especially right around third grade. But I do remember being very young and I was very outgoing. That was the word I think that everyone around me used. And that typical eldest daughter report card that always said, she is doing so great. Also, she tends to talk a lot in class. I'm sure that was me. So I was definitely the one who wanted to be in all the things, be on stage, be in the activities, be in the middle of things, hear myself talk. That was me for sure. And so I was told that I was extroverted, and that's what that meant. So went through my life, got a career. As you guys know, I will teach on stage. I will talk to a camera. That is not a problem for me. I truly, if you told me right now, if somebody came to me and said, hey, in 30 minutes, you're going to be on stage teaching a Pilates class to 1,000 people, I would say, awesome. Oh my gosh, that's so fun. I have a playlist ready. Let's go. That does not cause me any kind of anxiety or nerves whatsoever. It's just my happy place. I actually would love to go do that. And I would definitely get nervous in certain aspects of that, of performing in front of people. But that's been my personality, all right? I love people. I love being in the middle of groups. So like I said, I always assumed I was extroverted because that's a label that was put on me. I thought that's what that meant. I wasn't shy, so I was outgoing. I must be extroverted. And then I met my husband. I've known each other for decades now. And I started to notice a difference in how we simply interact with people or wanted to go out and do things. We would go out, let's say to a party or to a dinner or something like that with other people. And I would hit a limit much sooner than he would. And I would just be ready I'd be ready to be done. I would be ready to come home. And he wouldn't. He's like, no, I'm having a great time and we're going somewhere else after this. And I just remember having that awareness of, okay, he really likes to go to that next place, like that next place after the place. And I was always done when it came time for that place. So it was just an awareness. I didn't really chalk it up to anything. Except, gosh, I think I just get done with things before he does. There are other types of people out there who actually want to keep going, and I just want to go home at a certain time. Then sometime, I don't know, 10 years ago, sometime in the last 10 years, I was introduced to this idea of being an introverted extrovert, or even opposite, an extroverted introvert. I had never heard of this. I just thought you were on one end of the spectrum or the other. You were either introverted or extroverted. And that kind of started to make sense to me about where I might live on the spectrum. And it really came, I think when I finally really embraced this idea of, oh gosh, I am not necessarily a true extrovert, was when I was running Momentum Fest. My husband and I were running it together. It was a large Pilates and fitness festival, and it was amazing and wonderful. And teaching on stage, like I said, is just one of my favorite things. Moving, teaching, good music, being with other people, and that kind of community, it really does something to my soul. I love it. And it was hours and hours a day of this, going to other people's classes, having intense conversations. We had panels, we had important conversations, we were teaching, we were moving. And I would go back to the hotel room in between sessions, and I would have a hoodie on. So I'd put on a hoodie, and I'd put the hood over my head and tighten the string as much as I could, and lay on the bed with my kids. Our kids were really young then, but they were obviously with us. So I would lay on the bed with them, and I would just lay there. I wouldn't even want anyone to talk. I would just need to lay, no music, no sound, and I would just want to lay and snuggle. And that was the natural place I went to after exerting that much energy. And it finally hit me when someone, somewhere along the line, I heard the description of introvert versus extrovert being that with true extroverts, they get their energy. Their energy is actually increased by being around other people. You fill your bucket. You keep getting more and more and more energy. And I can see that with my husband, because that's the way he was. He would go out and get more and more excited to be there and, get into great conversations, and he'd want more, and it would just kind of keep going. Versus I love being around that environment. It fills my soul, and it also pours out my energy until I feel empty and I have to go recharge. I need to go sit in a corner. I need to, the day afterwards, I am staying in my cozy clothes, staying at home, turning everything off. And that finally really made sense to me. And so I say all that because that's been on my mind as we're going into the holiday season, actually. And things increase, and we're at Thanksgiving with a lot of people, and we're doing a lot of extra activities, and I'm at school activities more. It's just really important for me now to have that awareness. One, not to put necessarily a label on myself or on yourself. And two, if people have labeled you one way or the other, make sure that it's not with any kind of negativity associated with it, because sometimes I think it can be. And you have to simply own who you are. That's the beauty and the freedom in this, is once I realized that I needed that recharge, it made so many other things make sense. And it allowed me to kind of own the fact that, I need to be home by a certain hour. This carriage will turn into a pumpkin. I will be done. And you could see it across my face. People who really, really know me can see it. I hit a limit and I am just, say pow. I'm all pow. I'm all done. And that happens when I travel for work too. That I will travel all day. I film. I am in intense, awesome meetings. It's a lot of energy output, and I truly do love it. I don't want to live a life without it. But I also know that I get back to my hotel room at 5, and I'm going to be in my hotel room. I'm going to order room service. I'm going to put that hoodie on, maybe have some music on, maybe like some silly show on the TV. I'm going to FaceTime my kids, and that is how I recharge so that I can do it again the next day. Versus some people would travel and they would then reach out to all their friends. Who's in town this night? Let's go out. And that sounds great to me. And years ago, I would have done that because the idea of it sounds so great. And I want to see as many people as possible. But knowing myself now, I know that I have to have that time to recharge if I am going to be able to give out my energy again the next day. And so again, that's more just an idea of freedom, that I just own and know more about who I am now and what refills my energy bucket and what depletes my energy bucket. And it's not that I completely avoid the things that deplete it. I can't, because like I said, there's something that I really actually love about it. But I need to have that self-awareness, especially in this season. That's why it was kind of on my brain and why I wanted to chat about it here, because it's on my mind as we go into this season. That I want to leave space for the things that I really do love, that I really do enjoy, and there's so many things. So I want to leave the space for that. And then I also need to write in a little bit of space for the recharge. I'm literally like a battery. I have to plug myself in and get recharged to be able to do it again the next day in order to keep my physical health up, my mental health, and all of those things. And going back to kind of that idea of looking at my husband, so on the other end of that, like a flip side of the coin, he is, I think, a true extrovert, that he really will continue to get his energy filled being around other people in situations he really, really likes. He also is much more discerning on when he will go into those situations. So from the outside, like he works from home, he works really, really hard in his job, he works really, really hard in our family, and he's present with our family. And those are the things that take up most of his time. Versus I am going to actually go out more during the week and volunteer possibly at the school, or go down and see my parents who recently moved here, or possibly go out and have a dinner with a girlfriend. I actually am doing more of those things, but it takes more energy for me to do them. His are fewer and farther between, but when he does it, it is like natural, easy, go and do it, doesn't take a lot of energy output. And I think that's interesting too. And it's just another one of those observations that most of us don't fit on one end of the label or the other. So it's just realizing for yourself what fills your bucket, what gives you energy, what lifts you up, and what depletes it. And those aren't always that it's the great, amazing things that fill you and it's the bad things that deplete you. It could be sometimes like all mishmashed in between. So it's just knowing that, understanding it about yourself. Don't apologize for it. Don't feel like you have to change. But once you acknowledge it and you have that self-awareness, it can make some of your yeses and some of your nos a little bit easier. And it lets you then give yourself what you need so that you can keep your bucket full and you can help fill other people around you. So thanks for listening to me as I kind of talk through that today. And I hope it serves you a little bit as you go into that this busy season as well. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much for listening today. I would love it if you could take a moment to subscribe, rate, and review this podcast. It means a lot to us, and it helps our content get out to more women who need it. You can find more of my resources at my website, jessicavalant.com, or find me on YouTube at Jessica Valant and Instagram at Jessica S. Valant.